Good morning, dear students. We'll start a new British history unit. Unit title Living in the Islamic World. So, the first topic is what was life like in an Islamic city? Take page number 172. Today we will cover page numbers 172 to 175. So, the topic name is what was life like in an Islamic city? Learning objective: to understand the important Islamic cities like Damascus, Mecca, Baghdad, etc. So, I hope you all know or you may have heard about these cities. So, this is an interesting as well as easy topic. So, let us go to the topic. Where should the capital city be? Where should the capital city be? So in this topic, we'll discuss about the capital cities of Islamic Empire. At first, the Arab Empire was ruled from Medina. So we all know where is Medina. So it is in Saudi Arabia right now. So it is actually a holy place of Muslims. So at first, the Arab Empire was ruled from Medina. So Medina was the capital or the center of Arab Empire. But what happened next? We'll see. After the Umayyad family took control over the Arab Empire, Damascus was made capital. So afterwards, what happened was Umayyad family took control over the Arab Empire. So and then they changed the capital or the center from Medina to Damascus. So Damascus was the new capital made by Umayyad family. Then after 100 years, everything changed. That means after 100 years, the Abbasids defeated the Umayyads in a civil war. So you all know earlier there were a lot of wars between emperors. So what happened after 100 years was Abbasids, they were another family. So they fought a war against Umayyad and they defeated Umayyad family and they took control over the Arab Empire. So their capital city was different. So it is a usual thing that different empires change their capital cities often. So what was their capital city? So before going to that topic, you should understand the three most important Islamic cities of that period. So you can guess which city they may have chose. So we'll go to the first city. Cities in the Islamic Empire. This is the topic. So the first city was Damascus, which we have already discussed as the capital city of Umayyad family. Okay. So first city is Damascus, capital city of Umayyad family. Next point is that it was the ex-capital city of Syria. So, Damascus was not only the capital city of Umayyad family, but it was also the capital city of or the ex-capital city of Syria. The next important point about Damascus is that it was an important city of the Byzantine Empire. So, this is another empire just like Umayyad. So, it was an important city of the Byzantine Empire. Then, it has a magnificent and large mosque. So, it was quite a big city. So, there was a magnificent and large mosque in a fertile farming area. So, Damascus was situated in a fertile farming area. So, this is important for a good city because if the city is good, if the city is fertile, if the land is fertile, we can do a lot of agriculture there and the empire will become rich as well as prosperous because of the growing crops. So Damascus was one among them. It was in a fertile farming area. So there was a lot of agriculture. There was a lot of scope for agriculture there. So next point is that well-established capital with lots of expert government officials. So in Damascus, the Damascus, it was a well-established capital because it was already the capital city of Umayyad family as well as the ex-capital of Syria. So it has become already a well-established capital, and there were a lot of government officials who were so expert in their work. The last point is that it has been an important city for 3,000 years. So that was a very important point about Damascus, that it was an important city for 3,000 years. So for the past 3,000 years, I'm talking from that period, so it was a very important city. Okay. Next, we will discuss about another important city of Islamic Empire, that is Mecca. So we all know where is Mecca. Mecca is situated in Saudi Arabia, just like Medina. It is a very important city for Muslims. As we all know, it is a place where Muslims go for pilgrimage. So about Mecca, as I told you, it is the most holy city of Islam. So Mecca is the most holy city of Islam. It is the birthplace of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Prophet Muhammad is the last and most important prophet of Muslims. So Mecca is the birthplace of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In a desert. So Mecca is situated in a desert, and there all food needs importing. So we know that in desert there is no much production. So all the food materials needs importing to that place. So I think you understood. Is it a positive or negative? Obviously it is a negative point about a city as a capital, right? Now next is that Mecca could only support a small population. Mecca was not such a big city, so it could only support a small population. So is it a good or bad thing about a city which should be chosen as a capital? You have to think about it. So, and another thing is that Mecca is situated in a safe place. So it's a very good thing. Mecca is situated in a safe place. So there are some important points about Mecca, some good positive points about Mecca. It is related to the religious thing. That means it is a holy city of Islam and it is a birthplace of Prophet Muhammad. But there are some negatives also, like it is situated in a desert and all the food materials needs importing there. Then it can support only a very small population. So these all are some negatives of Mecca. And another positive is that it is situated in a safe place. So we have to check another city also. Next city is Baghdad. I think you all know where is Baghdad. So Baghdad, at that moment only a village, but ready for development or planning an entirely new city. So at that moment when these people, when Arab Empire was going on, Baghdad was a very small village, but the point is that it was ready for development or planning an entirely new city. So there was a scope of building a very new city in Baghdad, even though it was a village at that period. Fertile area because of the annual flooding from the Tigris and Euphrates river. So it was a fertile area. As we mentioned about Damascus, Baghdad is also a fertile area. So we need fertile area because there will be a great scope for agriculture there. Agriculture makes a country or an empire prosperous. So Baghdad was situated in a fertile area. It was fertile because of two reasons. There was annual flooding from two rivers. That is, one river is Tigris and another river is Euphrates. So the two rivers usually yearly flood, and because of that it was a fertile area. So next point is that rivers also provide trade links with the east and west of the empire. So this is a very good scope, very good quality of a capital city, right? So these rivers provide trade links with the east and west of the empire. Then there was good water supply to town from those rivers. So two rivers were there, so good water supply is there. So water is something very essential for building a city. So Baghdad was a very important city to be constructed. So as you may have guessed, the caliphs chose Baghdad as their capital. So the topic is, what did the new capital look like? The caliphs chose Baghdad as their capital. Because of the very good features of Baghdad, they chose Baghdad as their capital. It was built in the shape of a circle because circle meant unity and power for Muslims. So for Muslims, circle means unity and power. Because of that, the caliphs built the Baghdad in the shape of a circle. Baghdad grew very quickly. We all know because of the very good features of Baghdad, it grew very quickly, and within a short period, it was the world's largest city. See, within a very short period, so it became the world's largest city just because of its very good features. Good water supply, fertile land, etc. Life in Baghdad. So the next topic is life in Baghdad. Baghdad quickly became an international center. So trade was going on there, many people came there. So it became an international center. People from all over the world came there. So people from different countries started to visit there for trade and for different purposes. Caliph had his court in Baghdad. So they chose their capital as Baghdad. So they built their court in Baghdad. Many merchants lived there as it was major trading center. So usually the merchants will live in the major trading cities. So Baghdad was the very good or a very major trading center. So usually merchants lived there. But there were a lot of poor people also. Not only rich people lived there. So there were a lot of poor people who were ready to do job for earning. So this topic is about the life of people in Baghdad. Houses of rich people was different from that of poor people's house. So it is a common thing. Even now it is like that. Rich people's house will be very big and expensive materials will be there, objects will be there, it will be decorated. But poor people's house will be very different from that of rich people. The number of rooms in houses depended on how rich the owner was. So it was a peculiarity. The number of rooms in houses depended on how rich the owner was. If the owner was very rich, there were a large number of rooms. Some rich people had a water fountain, garden, etc. in the courtyard, which was very expensive. So in a city, to maintain a garden or a water fountain is very difficult and it's very expensive. So if the people were very rich, they used to maintain water fountain, garden, etc. Inside the house, family led a private life. That means the wife, children, slaves who were working for them, everyone were living inside the home. There was no much connection with the outside world. So they were living a private life there inside the home. Most cooking and cleaning in rich houses were done by slaves. So at that period, slavery was common. So slaves, or sometimes the daughter or son of slaves, everyone, they used to do the cooking and cleaning of houses. The poor could not afford even the cheapest rents inside the city. So living in the city was very expensive even now. So the poor people couldn't afford to live in the city. So they built their own mud shelters or small houses on the edges of the city. So this explain in this topic, the life of the people in the city is explained. So you should read your textbook from page number 172 to 175. So study well and complete the homework which I will give with this. Thank you so much. Take care.